views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Welcome to Foodie Down Bronx. I'm your host, the Hungry Dominican. On this edition of Foodie Down Bronx, we're talking healthy foods at bars and food education. So if you like to eat, stay tuned. From BronxNet to the world, this is Foodie Down Bronx. Welcome once again to Foodie Down Bronx. Make sure you stay connected to us on Instagram at BronxNetTV, at Foodie Down Bronx, and make sure to follow me at The Hungry Dominican. On today's show, our health and wellness correspondent, Marilyn will explore healthy food options at bars with Rosa Garcia of Mott Haven Bar and Grill. Then I'll sit with food educator and health advocate, Marilyn to learn more about her initiative called Divine Appetite. But before all that, let's do what we do at the top of every show. Let's get into this week's Chew News. Celebrity chef and philanthropist Jose Andres has been in Puerto Rico since the first of the two devastating earthquakes hit the island this week. Along with his World Central Kitchen, Andres has been able to serve out 10,000 meals to victims of the quakes. Some of you might recognize the chef from back in 2017 when Jose Andres took time out to head to Puerto Rico right after Hurricane Maria hit. To donate to Chef Jose's World Central Kitchen, visit donate.wck.org. And for a list of organizations mobilizing in Puerto Rico, visit mariafund.org/earthquake response. Thousands of pounds of carrots and sweet potatoes were dropped over New South Wales in an effort to feed the endangered species in the affected areas. Wallabies have lost a majority of their food sources, and an estimated 1 billion animals have been lost in the fires. For more information and to see how you can help, head over to wires.org.au. All right, folks, that is this week's Chew News, giving you a little food for thought. Foodie Down Bronx will be right back.
When you think of bars, you think of beer and wings, right? What happened if I told you there are bars located in the Bronx that are offering healthier options? Today, on this episode of Healthy Bronx Bites with Mary, I'm here at Mott Haven Bar and Grill to interview owner Rosa Garcia. Mott Haven Bar and Grill is located on 1 Bruckner Boulevard. Are you ready to see these healthier options? I know I am. Let's go. Hi guys, so I'm here with Rosa Garcia, and she's gonna be preparing one of our favorite dishes here at Mott Haven Bar and Grill, a healthier option that you might not have considered coming from a bar. Hi Rosa.
Hi.
Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you for having me.
So before we even talk about the amazing food, I want to talk about the amazing you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Because you know you've done so much for the community. I'm definitely like #1 cheerleader.
Thank you.
So I want to know, how did you even establish this place? How many years has it been?
Well, I've been here already 13 years, but as the owner, I just made 6 years in November.
Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you. Yes.
So what made you actually want to turn this place around in this particular area? Was there a reason? Is it just something that just happened?
Well, first I was working here for about 5 years, and then Hurricane Sandy happened in 2012. With the whole bickering of back and forth between landlord and owner, it was just delaying the process of people getting back to work, and that's all I really wanted, get my previous staff, which is just my co-workers at that time, to get back to work and take care of the families. So I saw an opportunity, I requested a loan. I always tell people the worst thing that could happen is you get a yes or a no, and a no never killed anyone. And in November 2013, I opened the doors and I rehired everyone that used to work prior to Hurricane Sandy.
So that just shows how much you care about the community. Like,
Yes.
you didn't just do this for you did it for the people who actually lived here.
Yeah, and the people that work for me. You know, if you're loyal to me, I try to give that right back to you.
What I also love about this location, I personally attended a lot of your events here, and you have a lot of wellness and you know, self-love events.
Yes.
Like, so this restaurant isn't just a bar and a grill. It's so much more than that. Can you explain a little bit about that too? Why did you take this space on as like a community space?
Well, I love the Mott Haven area. I was not born here. I was born in the Dominican Republic, and I was raised in Washington Heights, but I've been here for almost 20 years. I love my roots, which is I'm Dominican, but I am from the Bronx. My family lives in the Bronx. I reside in the Bronx, and my kids have not known anywhere else but the Bronx. But I just love giving back. I came from nothing, and I always see how sometimes people are in a certain situation and they forget to, you know, where they came from and helping others. And I just want to use my platform where I am right now to give back, to help others. And a lot of times I sponsor my space for free. I do events to better the humanity around you. And that's why in all my panels I give people a book so they could, you know, work on themselves internally and not just on the outside.
I love that. And one of the things that I also love is that you are changing the narrative of what a bar looks like. I know you're always changing the menu here because everything you do is fresh and local. So I wanted to know about this signature salad, which is the Greek salad.
Yes.
So let's go right into it. What's the first ingredient that we actually put into the bowl?
The romaine.
So what I love about romaine is that it's a lighter of the greens. So it's a low-calorie option. If you've ever been to Greece, people's skin always glows there. So I'm assuming a lot of these ingredients are good for the skin.
That's why my skin is glowing.
See? So what's the next
I eat
ingredient?
that a lot.
A lot of
we put
romaine?
tomatoes and cucumbers, which we
Tomatoes.
could grab since we have gloves.
You got the tomatoes.
And you got the cucumbers. Sprinkle it. You could take the onions since they are awesome for you.
What I also love about this salad, you can do this right at home as
Yeah,
well.
you have all the ingredients at home. Feta cheese.
We were actually looking at what are capers good for. Do you remember?
No, do you? I looked up the
I know
olives.
I know they're really good for your skin.
A lot of these ingredients are really good for your skin, for your heart.
The
They have a lot
stomach,
of
the
vitamins.
digestion. That's
Yes.
what capers were good for.
Yes.
They were good for the digestion tract.
So now we pour the dressing, which is a lemon, olive oil, salt, pepper, and a little bit of oregano. We just pour it right in.
So you make all your dressings
Yes.
in-house.
Yes.
What's really good about that, many people don't know, if you look on the ingredients on the back of like salad dressings, there's a lot of preservatives, there's a lot of high fruit corn syrup.
Yeah.
So the fact that you make this in-house is super special and so important.
Because it gives people a chance to also do it at home. I'm not using ingredients that you cannot just pick up from a supermarket. Now we use the tongues, we toss it.
I'm gonna let you toss it because I'm not a good tosser.
So we do this. I'm sorry, I'm dropping some on the floor.
No, it's fine.
And then we add the falafel balls.
Which
These
is so
are
great. What's in there?
amazing. Chickpea. They're so awesome. We put them around.
So how do you make that for someone at home? Like I've never made a falafel
You
in my
have
life.
to like boil the chickpea and then you make a little bowl and you fry it.
It
You wanna
smells-
try it?
I do want to try it.
Okay,
Can
fine.
you-
I'll try
Wait,
it
what
with
is
you.
this?
That is tahini.
Okay, so does this come with the salad? Do we pour this in or do we
That
don't
comes
leave it
on the
aside?
side always, and it's up to people if they want to dip it in or not.
I'm gonna dip
All right,
it.
let's go dip it together.
So this is a great alternative to those of us who may not want to have chicken. Because normally I would have it with chicken. Oh
Green.
wow, it's green.
I know, and it's so yummy. No double dipping.
I'll use the bag.
I'm joking.
That's really good. I'm sorry. I'm taking another bite.
It's okay. I'll do it with you. There you go.
I know a lot of people at home who are probably not used to seeing that. They're like, is it as flavorful? It is so flavorful.
And it's very healthy.
It is. It is. It's a healthy alternative if you want to skip meat for a day.
Yes.
You don't have to be vegetarian or vegan to really enjoy this.
And this same exact salad, you could put it in a wrap, so it makes it more filling. You could put it in a wrap, you smash the falafels, which we do have that on the menu as well. You add the romaine, you add the cheese, the onions, the cucumbers, tomatoes, wrap it up and you eat it. And it tastes like a chicken Caesar wrap, but you're having a falafel wrap.
This is such a
Yes.
good alternative.
Now you're gonna make me finish this now.
But it's so good. I just want to say thank you so much for all that you're doing. Thank you for displaying this amazing salad. What are some of the other options that you offer normally in the menu if someone wanted like a healthier alternative?
We do have a black bean quinoa burger, which we make here in-house. We make the quinoa patties ourselves, and it comes in a whole wheat bun. And it's very healthy, and it has avocado, which we all know avocado is good for you. And like I said, we have the falafel wrap. We have the salmon, which comes with vegetables as well. I love salmon, but you have to take it easy with salmon sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you want to offer healthier options? Because when I go to restaurants or I've challenged businesses on offering healthier alternatives, they're always saying Bronx residents don't want to eat healthy. What do
I
you say to
disagree.
that?
I disagree. I mean, it's not even about where you're from. It's all about what you want to put into your body. if your body it's not being taken care of, what you put inside, you're gonna be sick. You're not gonna make it in this world. And I work out all the time. I run, and I like to eat healthy. I am Spanish, so sometimes I do eat my rice and beans and chicken, but it's all about finding that balance. Yeah.
I think also what you've done is that you've changed the narrative.
Yes.
You've shown us that like a woman of color from the Dominican Republic, raised in the Bronx, raising family in the Bronx, are like, no, I'm eating falafel.
Yeah.
And I'm going to eat a Greek salad, and I'm going to offer a black bean burger. I think that's already taking back that we want options. We just don't know how to make it culturally relevant.
I agree, and we have to just be more open-minded to these kind of food. We're very close-minded, and it has to do a lot with our culture. We try to say, no, that's not what I'm used to eating.
Right.
You're not gonna know if it's good unless you try it.
Right, and I'm glad that you're allowing me to try this today. And I want our viewers to make sure that they come and try this out. Are there any specials or anything they should be on the lookout for? What you want to invite people to come and see and experience?
I mean, they should definitely try the Greek salad, the falafel wrap. We have karaoke every Friday.
Karaoke!
I mean, that is a form of exercise. You study your vocals and you shred some sweat.
Some stress.
Yes, it's good. I mean, I tried doing karaoke once, but I dropped the mic and I walked away.
So I know I'm gonna see you for karaoke night, and I hope our viewers at home stop by Mott Haven Bar and Grill. Not only check out the healthy options here, but they also have a list of events. If someone wants to know more information, do you have a website?
Yes, www.motthavenbar.com, or you can follow us on Instagram at Mott Haven Bar.
Thank you so much, guys, and I hope to see you in the next episode of Foodie Down Bronx.
TV news, radio reports, and newspaper headlines in the 1970s and 80s misrepresented communities in the borough of the Bronx. Then, something transformative happened. By, for, and about the Bronx, BronxNet was born.
We are BronxNet!
BronxNet provides media education,
opening the doors to competitive careers in the media industry
for thousands of students in middle school,
high school,
and college.
BronxNet.
Welcome back to Foodie Down Bronx. I'm your host, M, the Hungry Dominican. Our next guest is a Bronx-born food activist and inspiring health advocate, as well as a founder of Divine Appetite, offering up workshops, private food coaching, and restaurant consulting. Welcome to the show, Chef Marilyn Moore. Hello, Chef.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So we have a few things to talk about. First off, let's start off with your connection to the Bronx. How long were you in the Bronx? Because right now you're in Brooklyn.
Yes.
But how long were you living in the borough?
I lived in the Bronx until I was 30 years old. Okay. So most of my life, I'm 41 now. Mm-hmm. So for most of my life, I lived in the Bronx. That's who I am.
What was your neighborhood? Where were you roaming around?
When I was young, I grew up on T-Bout Avenue, 183rd,
Sure.
T-Bout the 3rd, But I lived all throughout the Bronx. I lived in Throgs Neck, Pelham Bay, Pelham Parkway, Morris Park.
Okay, so let's talk about a few things here. I want to start off with Divine Appetite. Tell me a little bit about Divine Appetite.
So Divine Appetite is a dope company.
Yes.
We are dope because we offer food education to youth, to adults, and we're city vendors. So the good part is that we get to reach neighborhoods and communities that may not be able to host their own workshops and throw these big events regarding food. But when a school contracts with us or a nonprofit contracts with us, then we're able to offer a community that would not have access to food education, this opportunity, Right. So that's what we do. We teach people how to eat well, understand ingredients, which is how you're gonna eat well, see that you're caught in a trap, food is not everywhere, so it's okay, pace yourself, and we want the next generation to not take so many medications.
Right.
You know, we want the next generation
and
to be
there's
healthy.
a direct correlation between what you put in your body and how you feel, of course, right?
Absolutely.
And even as simple as that sounds, as sort of obvious as that sounds, I don't think people realize that literally everything you eat and put in your body is going to affect you. It always has ramifications, and that's one of the messages you put out there, correct?
Yes.
That's very cool. Now, you say that you go around the city, so you guys travel from borough to borough, or how does it really work? How do the events take place?
Usually when we partner with a school, we're partnering for the whole year.
Okay.
Maybe a semester or for the whole year. Besides those contracts, then we do workshops, like 8-week workshops or 6-week workshops, training garden leaders. We train residents and some like people like Banana Kelly, which we all are very familiar with, has done great things in the Bronx.
Very cool.
They, partnering with them gives us access to residents who live in communities that have no access to food, and we help them navigate down to taking them to the supermarket and showing them in this high-priced supermarket in a low-income area, these are the things that can help you get through the week. These are the things that can help with cravings. This can help when, if you have a high-fat diet and you want to maintain that, you know, because we have to meet people where they are.
I think people don't realize that there are good fats and bad fats, right? So if you still want a fatty meal, there's always a better option. So what's the reception you've seen with the wellness workshops that you have, and the fact that you take people out to supermarkets and they clearly want to learn, but how many of those people do you see put these practices into effect? Right?
Well, the good part is I do receive emails and feedback from people that say, you know what, I tried this. And if they tried 3 things that they did not try before or would never have tried, that is so powerful. And the key thing that everyone, I stand with this, everyone after taking a workshop with us, they leave with a different mindset. And that's where it begins. I cannot map out your neighborhood, get people to sell good food in your neighborhood, but I can help you realize that you deserve good food. I can help you realize that you are living in an environment that is unhealthy, and now that you know, you can make better choices. Because sometimes people do not even understand how related, how food is related to their mental health, to triggers in their mood, or triggering ailments that are already in their body.
The simple act of deciding what to eat and then getting to a point where you're living, wherever you are, and you're thinking to yourself, I have no good options. Even that right there is a bad first step, right? Because that just trickles down to, well, I don't have access to a smoothie shop, or let's say a salad place. I'll just order from the neighborhood, burger spot or something. And that right there trickles down, right? Like, I feel like that's how it kind of starts. Because you're mentioning how people don't even know what they have access to in their own neighborhoods. And I think that we just fall into this loop of like ordering the same thing or eating the same thing, or just maybe even psychologically thinking that's all we deserve. It's what's around us, right?
That's exactly what we think. It's normal. It is, and how could it not be normal if you go to school and you're being fed unhealthy? You go to your jobs, the lounge is unhealthy, unless they have like the foodie people and they're like, we're changing our life. Other than that, for the most part, when you go to a political event and they're talking about health, they're not really talking about healthy food. They're talking about make sure you take your medication, make sure you have insurance, and all those things are important. But even if they say, okay, look, we're giving out these vouchers for the farmer's market. Okay, so what do I do with this raw food at the farmer's market? Are you equipping every farmer's market in New York City with cooking demos? Because you can definitely hire community chefs who are New York City vendors, tons of us out here who would love the employment and to support their own community and to do what they love. It's nothing like a community chef doing a demo outside. I mean,
you don't want somebody with like no energy.
And and they're like, this is part of the job. But when you have a community chef and that's what they wake up to do, and they're out there like, look at these ingredients, really simple. They're filled with life, and that's what you want to maintain.
I love chefs. I've said it 1,000 times. I think what they do is admirable beyond belief. Right? You're giving people sustenance. You're giving people energy, food. And if if you're someone who eats right, then that person's giving you everything you need to make your body feel great and make you feel great. So where did you find the passion for cooking?
I found that when I moved to Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania in my early 20s. Yes.
That's a leap.
That's a leap. That was a big leap for me also. Right. So I go out there, I was practicing as a paralegal in New York City, and I started applying for paralegal jobs, and they were paying half of what I made in New York. And I was young, and I was like, nah, I'm trying to stay fly. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to go broke and do the same work. So I started asking around, meeting people, and they're like, oh, this is the Poconos. You got to become a waitress. Became a waitress, then became a catering waitress, then start working with the catering team, and was in love. When you go from waitressing and then you do a wedding and you like it, that's your calling. Right. Because no one likes that. I'm sorry to all those professionals out there. It is intense work to leave the comfort of the restaurant to being part of that catering team. Changed my life. it showed me that this high energy that I have is for a good reason.
Right.
And it helped me see food a little different, because out there food was a lot more natural. It was coming from farms like Lehigh
Sure.
Valley. I was so moved by fresh, raw food. And I was working at a space called Everybody's Cafe. I just love them because everything they made from scratch. And it was like a mixture. The husband was Korean and the wife was German. Whoa. Can you imagine?
So different.
So that's where I got watching them. They were small business owners. They're 2 kids. They bought this house. Like, there was such a great story. So I just started to indulge. And then I ended up getting hired at this, at a hotel at the Clarion, doing accounting for the kitchen. And worked my way in.
Beautiful.
Worked my way
That's
in the
beautiful.
kitchen and worked my way up. And I learned first from a Middle Eastern chef who taught me all about spices, which became who I am.
Right.
I am the urban spice lady, you know,
awesome.
and it literally taught me I could heal my body. And I learned that in the kitchen. You don't really learn about healing in a lot of restaurants. You don't learn about healing people with food. You do learn how to bring people together.
Right.
But
That's awesome. I always love the origins of like a chef. Let's talk a little bit about the subject of food apartheid. Your thoughts on it, and what exactly it is for people who don't understand.
So we can go back to, what does apartheid mean? Apartheid means you are not given resources because of your race. Someone is saying to basic human rights like food, water, shelter are not being supplied to you because of your race. So we are dealing with a food apartheid because the only communities that are suffering, not just because they're poor communities, okay? We have a lot of multi-income communities in New York City, you know, but we still have a lot of segregation in neighborhoods in New York City. Even though we're so diverse, and to the outside world, we look like, oh, the melting pot. Nah, boo. You go to a neighborhood, you will see one race for about 16 blocks. Like, let's not front, right? But you also will see the food. So being civically engaged and knowing like community boards have a say, a lot of different people have a say. Why are they not saying anything about the excessive liquor stores, the excessive supermarkets that are way overpriced for the demographics in the neighborhood? So that means anything that is fresh is gonna go bad. We're wasting food because the supermarkets, after having multiple conversations with many supermarket owners, they're like, well, we buy this, we'll buy kombucha, we'll buy this. And I say, but what are you charging people for it? Because you think it's a new wave, but remember, the people you are serving are not part of the new wave. They don't even know there's a wave. The only wave they know is more meds that combat the other med.
And
you know,
if you try to
what
bring
I
something
mean?
new into the mix and your price point isn't applicable to the people
But
around.
because we have, and then we have to look at both sides. But now this is still a business owner. What are they going to do when all that goes bad? What is the environment saying when it goes bad? You know, so there are so many layers because the lack of education. So the main place we get education from kind of seems like schools, right? Last time I checked, that's where we're leaving from. The kids are leaving from most today. Shouldn't that be the place where they don't just learn the false history of America, but they can learn about food, not in the South Bronx, not in Brownsville, and then it pops up slightly. But when it's popping up, do the people that come out look like them? Are they Latin and Black people? When there's a huge amount of Black, Brown, Latin, chefs, social workers, teachers, all through New York City doing our thing, right? But we want to see them in our community. And so when you don't, that's when you know your community is suffering. That's when you know if you're going 6 blocks, you go 6 blocks in one direction, 6 blocks in the next direction, there's no supermarket, only bodegas, which are one of the top businesses in New York City, is a grocery store. Is it helping us? One of the top money-making businesses is killing us. Actually, and it's like as if we don't have a say. We just have to take it. We just gonna get our chopped cheese in the morning because we gonna be all right. No, we're not all right.
I always tell people, I'm like, you know, regardless of where you're from, be civically engaged. Know what's going on in your neighborhood because you do have a say. But, you know, connecting it a little bit to what you're saying, it's like, there, you know, people of color, minorities, you know, we do have this mentality of just sort of, I don't know, it feels like we're being pushed down so much that we sometimes don't even bother trying to sort of, you know, get engaged because we're so afraid of the reaction we might get. You know, we feel like we're voiceless, I think, in a lot of situations that we don't even try to have our voice heard.
And we're so
and it just affects us.
over-policed.
And we are.
We're
There's
scared.
so many barriers that are just stopping us from being more engaged in our own neighborhoods. And food, of course, is one of those subjects that we need to be engaged in. Tell me a little bit about what's coming up next for you.
I'm having a food justice roundtable, the first one that Divine Appetite is sponsoring. We are partnering with Team Healthy Heart, another person that should be out here doing great things in the Bronx. So we're coming together, 2 Bronx folks, and we are just opening a conversation. That's what's happening on Saturday in Brooklyn. An open conversation. There will be food. People can potluck, bring food, no matter what you eat. We're going to sit down and just talk. I want to hear raw views of what you are seeing in your neighborhood. Do you notice food? Do you go work in another neighborhood and feel kind of like, yo, am I like a loser? Like, why doesn't my neighborhood have this stuff?
Right.
What's going on? What are the emotions? Because there's a lot of emotion going on around food. So that's what this Food Justice Roundtable is, for the hear the voices that do not get heard, which are the local people.
Okay,
you know? So that's what's happening. And this year I'm partnering with the Fresh Initiative, which a new initiative that Bronx Health Reach and American Heart Association has funded with Team Healthy Heart. And we're creating fresh food in bodegas in the Bronx.
Awesome.
So
I love that
it's
so
going to be
much. That's so
powered.
great.
Yes, my company is going to be producing the food, things like 3-bean salad that has black beans to represent Dominican culture, pink beans to represent the Puerto Ricans, and black-eyed peas of the Black Americans, which is, I'm a mix of both. So you're going to go in the supermarket, taste something that's healthy and raw, and it's like you.
That's awesome.
And it's your neighborhood where you pay tax. Oh, shoot.
Right,
they
right.
like us here in my own place.
Everyone just like steps back, looks to the left. What's really happening in my...
It's about us. I'm producing my first oil. I've been working on all last year, a process of smell, of what it brings to your body. It's called Divinity. It's a mixture of refreshing oils, essential oils, and natural oils. And it has been tested and processed, and it works it good.
Beautiful.
And another key part of it is if you're in the garden and you're outdoors and you need to be revived and keep your mind, it's offering that along with a little bit of some oil that makes sure it's a bug repellent.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Oh, and it works. Beautiful.
Yes.
And the added addition.
Yes, and we are hoping to have these roundtables by April, starting monthly in each borough, mainly in the Bronx and Brooklyn, where we really need to make some noise. It's not 62, it's corny already. I'm done with it. I don't want to hear the hashtag. I don't want to see. I want to see things changing.
Nice.
Plain and simple, right?
I respect
and
that.
And I want to. This is the real model of Divine Appetite. Fresh food is a daily human right, not a future goal. I'm tired of these goals, these 10-year plans.
Got it.
Every day, every human alive, like Mother Earth, does the criminals not get to breathe air because they're criminals? Right. No, it's just a right. You have to eat. Okay?
Right. Yeah, love that. Chef, I gotta say, I love your passion. All right, guys, stay connected with Chef Marilyn at Divine Appetite on Instagram and visit her website.
Marilyn the Chef.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Marilyn the Chef, and visit her website, divineappetite.com, to learn more. The Divine Appetite Food Justice Roundtable will take place this Saturday, correct?
Yes.
January 18th from 3 to 8 at Toast, which is located at 1130 Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn. The event is free. Make sure to visit eventbrite.com and type in Food Justice Roundtable to RSVP. Well, that's all for the show, guys. Thank you again for tuning in, and thank you to our guests today for joining us. From BronxNet to the world, this is Foodie Down Bronx. I'm your host, the Hungry Dominican, always reminding you to feed your mind, feed your body, and if you see me coming along, feed me. Adios.